What's up, YouTube? Today we're reviewing the 2021 Dodge Durango Hellcat. Huge thank you to Jesus Yepes over at Koons, Tysons, Chevy, Buick, GMC for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular Durango Hellcat or any of the cool used car inventory, I'll be sure to have Jesus's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. First, let's talk about the exterior and performance. And like I said, this is a 2021 Dodge Durango Hellcat, and this particular one is painted in white knuckle clear coat. But let's start at the top of the hood and work our way down to the bottom, because this does have the SRT performance hood with two hood vents, one on the driver's side of the vehicle and one on the passenger side of the vehicle, as well as an air intake at the center of the hood. Let's move over here to our headlights, because we do have LED daytime running lights as well as LED turn signals, LED headlamps, and you do have automatic high beams with your headlamps. Let's move over to the grille. You do have a beautiful black grille with your SRT Hellcat emblem on the driver's side of that grille. Let's move to the bottom of the Durango Hellcat's front bumper. You do have parking sensors at the bottom of the bumper, one there, one there, one there, one in there as well. And moving to the bottom of your front bumper, you also do have the SRT performance lower front splitter. Continuing on down, this particular Durango Hellcat does have the $1,895 black package, which comes with these 20x10 lights out aluminum wheels wrapped in 295, 45, 20 Pirelli all-season tires at all four corners. So this is a squared stance vehicle. With that black package, you also do get these gray metallic badges as well as these gloss black mirror caps. And talking about the mirrors, you also do have an integrated LED turn signal in both your mirrors. You do have your blind spot monitor at the upper left hand corner of the mirror on the driver's side and at the upper right hand corner of the mirror of the passenger side. And these mirrors are also heated. You do have keyless access. All you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, come up to the vehicle, put your hand on this touchpad, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by pushing that button right there. You guys can hear the horn honked. That means it is locked. But let's unlock it, because why not? So put my hand there. Now it is unlocked again. Again, you have those lights out aluminum wheels. You also do have a capless filler neck in here, 93 octane only. Unless you tune it, then you go E85. But continuing on down to the rear end of the Durango Hellcat, you do have your LED full width rear taillights with Dodge written out at the center of your power liftgate, Durango badge on the lower left hand corner of the power liftgate, and your SRT Hellcat emblem on the lower right hand corner of your power liftgate. At the center of your power liftgate, that is where you will find your rear view camera. Moving to the bottom of the rear bumper, you will find 4 rear parking sensors, as you guys can see. And this particular Durango Hellcat does have the $1,195 trailer tow group, which comes with a class 4 hitch, which is covered by this trim piece right here. So if you take that out, then that's where you'll find your class 4 hitch. You also get a trailer brake controller on the interior, which I will show you guys here in a minute when we move into the interior. And with that package optioned, you do have an 8,700 pound max tow capacity with the Durango Hellcat. One more thing I wanted to mention that comes with the black package, you also do get these black exhaust tips, both here and here. So this does have a dual exhaust setup. This is a power liftgate, so you have a couple ways that you can, actually a few ways that you can open up the power liftgate. Obviously, one being on the interior, one being right here if I put my hand on that pad and pull back. And you also have the button on your key fob. So if I press this button twice, the power liftgate will open up to reveal a decent amount of space. So with these third row seats up, as you guys can see, you do not have that much storage space, just like it would be on like a Suburban or something like that. But you pull that up and push that forward, and you have a lot more storage space, just like a Trackhawk or Grand Cherokee would be, but even more with those third row seats down. Opening this up, you have a good amount of storage space under here that you can, you know, stow away whatever you want to stow away. A little bit more storage space on the driver's side. And right over here, you will find you have a 12-volt power outlet. And right here on the driver's side, that is the button you would push to make the power lift gate go down. So push that button, it might ding a couple times before it comes down, and then it will start coming down. But I'm a big fan of the way the 2021 Durango Hellcat looks. I wish the wheels were a little bit more stylish. However, that's something that you can easily change out if you do have the money to do so. But regardless, I still think it looks very, very good. But with that said, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 6.2 liter supercharged Hemi V8 that makes 710 horsepower and 640 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission that goes to all 4 wheels for a 0 to 60 time of 3.6 seconds, which is very, very fast, especially for a vehicle of this size. But if you guys are wondering about fuel economy, but I think if you're buying one of these, you don't really care about fuel economy. But if you do, you get 11 miles per gallon in the city, 17 miles per gallon on the highway, with 13 miles per gallon combined. So definitely not very good fuel economy. This doesn't get good fuel economy. The Trackhawk doesn't get good fuel economy. The TRX does not get good fuel economy, but damn, do they look good. If you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really gunning for 10,000 subscribers, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. So if you guys would, give this video a big thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what your favorite thing has been so far of the Durango Hellcat. And like I said, please hit that subscribe button. But with that said, let's move into the interior. Moving into the interior, like I said, this does have keyless access. All you got to do is put your hand behind the door handle and the vehicle will unlock. You do have some forged carbon fiber, a black chrome trim piece around your aluminum door handle. You have your memory seat adjustment settings right here for 2 different drivers. You do have a leather wrapped armrest right here with some accented colored stitching. Automatic up and down front windows, but no automatic up or down windows in the rear. Unlock lock button, this locks your passenger windows, and these are your mirror controls right here. Like I said, you do have some forged carbon fiber trim pieces, and that is a part of the $2,495 premium interior group. That also includes a suede headliner, a premium instrument panel, as well as that forged carbon fiber interior. You also do have the $1,085 19 speaker Harman Kardon sound system. So you have that Harman Kardon speaker surround right here. It looks very, very nice. You have your supercharged door sill. Looking at the Durango Hellcat seats, plenty of side bolstering, very aggressive side bolstering, but it's still very, very comfortable. SRT Hellcat emblem embossed into the back of your seats. You do have some leather trimming both on the left and right side of your seat with some accented colored stitching. These are power seats in the front. Moving into the interior, let's fire her up because might as well. It's got a supercharged 6.2 liter V8. Foot on the brake, push that button, and the vehicle fires up, as you guys can hear. Get that Hellcat emblem on your gauge cluster. Closing the door, let's talk about the interior here real quick. You do have your headlight controls right over here. This is off, this is daytime running lights on, this is headlights on, this is headlights on automatic. This dial controls the brightness of your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons right here. So that's what that does. You do have the SRT airbag cover right here. So let's listen to the horn. You do have a leather wrapped steering wheel with your paddle shifters both on the left and right hand side of the steering wheel. Left is downshift, right is upshift. Obviously, I think if you are watching this video, I believe you probably know that. You do have an analog speedometer to the left hand side of your gauge cluster, and you have an analog fuel gauge as well, and an analog coolant temperature gauge. And then right here in the center, you will find your RPM gauge, and it is digital, as well as you do have a digital speedometer readout at the center of that gauge as well. These buttons right here control what's going on in that gauge cluster. This lets you know your fuel range, ambient exterior temperature, park, reverse, neutral, and drive. And like I said, you can control what you see on that screen by going through all these different things right here, but we're not going to worry about that. You do have a button to pick up a phone call, button to speak to the vehicle, button to hang up on a phone call, and these are your cruise control settings, your adaptive cruise control stuff right here. You do have a foot brake, so you do not have an electronic parking brake, which is kind of interesting. Right over here, you do have your 10.1-inch Uconnect 5 touchscreen infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay as well as wireless Android Auto. Uconnect 5 works very, very well. We go to our home screen. You got your media stuff right here, comfort, navigation, phone, vehicle, stuff like that. Uconnect 5 is nice. I've used it. It's kind of funny when you go into your climate control settings, it looks like you are a race car driver because that guy does have his helmet on. I am used to Uconnect 4, and I think Uconnect 4 also works very, very well. That is what is in that Ram TRX right there. And Uconnect 4 never has any hiccups. It's very, very good. It works very, very well. So Uconnect 4, Uconnect 5, both very, very good. I'm gonna put my sunglasses here on for a second because it is a little bit bright out, and I also like wearing my sunglasses. But moving over to here, your rear view mirror is auto dimming. You have your SOS button right there. This is the button to turn on or off your auto dimming rear view mirror. So if I push that, that's what that does. Your assist button right there. Pushing this opens up your sunglass holder. Putting that back up, pushing this button turns on your driver's side light. This is your passenger side light. Pushing that opens up your power liftgate, universal garage door opener right here. 1 garage, 2 garage, 3 garages, and these buttons right here open up your sunroof. As you guys can see, sunroof open, push it forward like that, sunroof closed. If I push this button right here, it just pops up just like that. Push this button right here to close it, and the sunroof closes. Right over here, you do have your suede visors, and you do have 2 lights on both sides. You guys can see me. Got the mirror right there. Over here, same exact thing. I'm gonna turn the fan on just a little bit because it is just a little bit hot in here. So let's turn the AC on. But moving down to here, as you guys can see, if I push this mute button, that will mute the radio. You have 3 levels of adjustability for your heated seats, 3 levels of adjustability for your ventilated seats. This is your heated steering wheel button right there, and obviously same goes for your passenger seat. Ventilated seat, heated seat, 3 levels of adjustability. Push this button right here, screen turns off. If you guys want your screen back on, all you gotta do is touch the screen and the screen will come right back on. Volume knob, tuning knob. This knob right here adjusts the fan speed. So as you guys can see here, the fan got louder, but let's leave it on 2. Here are your climate control stuff all throughout here. SRT button, this brings you into your SRT performance pages. This is the launch control button, very, very easy and very fun to use. Hazard button, traction control button, this turns on or off your parking sensors. This turns on or off your lane keeping system. Moving down to here, you have 2 USB-A ports, 2 USB-C ports, 1 auxiliary jack, wireless charging pad right here with plenty of space to set your iPhone 11, iPhone 12, iPhone 13, whatever size phone you got, it will fit. Here is your T-style shifter. I think this thing is really sweet. It's basically out of like a Charger or Challenger. So you got reverse, neutral, drive, and I love like the feeling when you put it into gear, you can really feel it like lurch into gear. Big fan of that. Switch it over to here. Now we are in manual mode. You can downshift by pushing forward, upshift by pulling backwards, or you can use your paddle shifters like I mentioned earlier. But let's throw her back into park. Now we are in park. You have 2 cup holders right here with some ambient lighting. Looks very, very fancy. Opening this up, you get a little bit of storage space right here. Open this up one more time, you get a little bit more storage space. You also do have a 12-volt outlet down in there as well. Closing that, let's talk about how much storage space we have in our glove box. It's actually a pretty small glove box right there, but you do have another 12-volt power outlet right next to your glove box, which is right there. GoPros don't do too well in low light, but trust me, there is a 12-volt power outlet right there. A couple things I wanted to talk about while we are in this front seat is if I pull my seat belt over here, you guys may notice that it is in red. If you guys do want the red seat belts, that is a $95 charge. I think it is worth it. It just makes the interior look just that much more sporty. Just my personal opinion. If you guys do want this power sunroof, that is a $1,295 option. Like I mentioned when we were on the exterior, this does have blind spot monitoring. If you guys do want the blind spot monitoring, that is a $495 option. And there's one more interior option that this Durango Hellcat does have, and that is the $595 second row console with armrest and storage. which we'll move into right now. Gonna have to wrap this video up rather quickly because there are a lot of people pulling in for a show, so we gotta kind of get out of here. But same exact pretty much door panel as you would find at the front. Good amount of storage space at the bottom of the door panel. Rear seats are very, very comfortable. SRT Hellcat embossed into the second row seats as well. So let's step into the interior. This is a 3-row vehicle, so obviously no issues with legroom. I'm adjusted behind myself, and this is that storage that I was talking about. You find a USB-A port right here, as well as a 12-volt power outlet. But closing that and opening this up, you get a little bit more storage space. So you have these 2 different buttons. This opens up the whole thing. This other button right here opens up just the top half of that. 2 cup holders right here, a spot to set your phone down if you so desire. I'm going to open up the door just for a little bit more light. You got your HVAC stuff right here, so you can adjust it if you want it on your feet, if you want it on your face. Let's leave it on the feet because that's where it was. 2 USB-A ports, as well as a 150-watt household power outlet right there. And you have heated seats in the second row as well, with 2 levels of adjustability. There's a lot of stuff here in the third row, so I'm not even going to worry about getting in the third row, but I will fold the seat up because you do have suede seats in the third row as well. And you have a cup holder right here, as well as another cup holder right there. So plenty of storage space. This would be a great vehicle for, you know, those of you who have kids, and, you know, a Trackhawk's just a little bit too small, and you guys want the third row seating, then the Durango Hellcat is for you. And it also comes with 710 horsepower. So for those of you guys who have a need for speed but also want a somewhat practical vehicle for your family, look no further than the Durango Hellcat. I mean, it is a bad ride for those of you guys who are looking for something like this. So like I said, all of Jesus's information in the description box down below. If you guys want this, it is for sale at Koons, Tysons, Chevy, Buick, GMC. But we've talked a lot about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, because I'm sure you guys want to see what this thing's like to drive. So with that said, let's get into the driving portion of the review. All right, and now on to the driving portion of the review. And just to give you guys a little backstory, I've had the opportunity to daily drive a 2021 Ram TRX for the past like 5 months, about 6,000 miles. And I can tell you basically right off the bat that these cars and truck, or SUV and truck, should I say, are 2 totally different beasts. You can tell that this thing is geared towards the road. It's ready to rip up, you know, a back road. Yeah, it is a little bit heavy, so you're gonna feel the weight a little bit, but it just handles way better on the street than the TRX does. And, you know, you can say the same thing. If I went and did some high-speed whoops in this, it would not do nearly as well or good at all as the TRX, you know what I mean? So they're obviously built for 2 totally different things, but I think the majority of TRX owners will probably be driving their TRXs on the street, just like, you know, I think 100% of Durango Hellcat owners will be driving on the street. So like I said, this thing just handles way better. You can tell that, you know, this thing is tuned for the street. The sounds are actually a little bit different. They've got different tones to them. They sound different. And I don't really know how to describe really the sound. Maybe this one's got a little bit like, it's just a different sound. I really don't know how to describe it. I think this one might have maybe a little lower of an exhaust note, but it definitely sounds a lot different than the TRX does. And, you know, they've got the same exact motor in them. But let's pull out onto here, wait for this car to go, and we'll do a nice little acceleration so you guys can hear what this thing sounds like. So ready? Here we go. When this thing shifts, it sounds so good because it goes wah, pow, wah, pow. Not like a big loud bang like on a BMW, but it's got some nice little like upshift sounds, if you will, that, you know, the TRX doesn't have as much. Brakes on this are definitely a lot better, and I made a video a few days ago about the TRX, and basically what I was saying was that Dodge really, or Ram, excuse me, really kind of dropped the ball when it came to the TRX's brakes. Yes, it's got the amazing power of that 6.2 liter V8 in the TRX, but the brakes really lack in the TRX. Whereas this thing got, you know, very good brakes, can more than adequately stop this vehicle from high speeds. Whereas, you know, the TRX doesn't have that. The TRX's brakes are not good for, you know, all that power. So you can tell this thing's definitely built for higher speeds. So if you guys like to cruise at high speeds on the highways, stuff like that, then this car is for you. If you guys don't want to get in as much trouble, but you guys enjoy a good 0 to 60, 0 to 80, then the TRX may be the vehicle for you. But you know, if you guys like cruising at 140 or, you know, going up to 150, 160 miles an hour, then the Durango Hellcat is for you, because the max speed of the TRX is, I believe, 118 miles per hour, give or take a few miles an hour, maybe 120. I think it's 118 though. This is the better vehicle for the street. It's got better suspension for the street. The TRX is very bouncy. I haven't driven a Trackhawk, but I can tell you, if I was to do a long road trip and I wanted my buddies to come with me, this would be the vehicle to do so. I like to drive fast, so this has more than enough horsepower to go fast. You know, you can haul 6 people in this particular one. You can haul 7 if you get the bench seat in the second row. This has the captain's chairs. It's such a great vehicle. This thing's limited to 1,000 units, whereas the TRX, as many as some people order. Same with the Trackhawk, as many as people order. But we're gonna do a little acceleration here getting onto the highway, and because I want to show you guys just really what this thing is made to do, because this thing's made to do some accelerations onto the highway. So we'll do a quick little acceleration. I'm just gonna stab throttle in 3, 2, 1. Transmission is fantastic in this vehicle, absolutely fantastic. Brakes, like I said, fantastic. Switching into this lane, rides super amazing at highway speeds. This is top let me see, I would say that this is top 3 of my favorite vehicle SUVs that I've driven. Definitely. It's got that beautiful V8 sound to it. It's got 710 horsepower. It's all-wheel drive. You can carry all your friends, all your family in it. Steering is fantastic. Handling is fantastic. It's very smooth at these highway speeds, and this is where this thing shines. This thing shines on the highway. It rides very smoothly, whereas, like I said, the TRX just doesn't have, you know, the ride that this thing does on the highway. This thing just rides way better. It handles way better. It brakes way better. So, you know, if you guys want to go off-roading, the TRX is the vehicle for you. It's got all the power. Suspension is amazing for off-roading. But if you guys like to handle and you guys like to drive fast, then, you know, the Durango Hellcat is for you. If you can't come across a Durango Hellcat, I can't speak on the Trackhawk, but I would assume that the Trackhawk is similar to this. We got to get a Trackhawk on the channel, because we've driven pretty much all the all-wheel drive platform Hellcats, being the TRX and now the Durango Hellcat. So we have to get a Trackhawk on the channel. If you guys have a Trackhawk, or you know somebody who has a Trackhawk who would be willing to let me drive it, send me an email, 703speed@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Instagram at 703speed. Like I said, just listen. Man, I love this vehicle. If I had 100 grand to drop on a vehicle, this thing would definitely be at the top of my list. And honestly, after driving this and after driving the TRX for a while, I'd honestly probably choose this. I would definitely actually choose this, because it handles, you can fit a lot of people in it. It just feels a lot quicker. I don't know. It's, yes, it's like basically like 1,000 pounds less, or 1,000 pounds give or take less than the TRX. But one thing I wanted to mention before we closed out this video, and that is that the MSRP of this particular vehicle is $93,985 as optioned. So yes, very, very expensive. But you have a 710 horsepower, 640 pound-feet of torque monster. Of an SUV that can haul around your family, haul around your friends, haul around 6 to 7 people, whether you're friends or not. It can do it. It can do it in style. This thing looks very good on the inside. The interior fit and finish is just a little bit better on the Ram, in my opinion. However, I still would choose this just because it rides better on the road. You can cut through traffic easier. The TRX is big and bulky, so you can't really cut through traffic in that. This, you can absolutely cut through traffic in, no problem. And one thing I didn't talk about earlier that I gotta point out now, that is where your trailer brake controller is, right there. See it right here. And I didn't mention that when we were going over the interior because we were pretty much getting kicked out of the parking lot because they had a show. So that's the end of today's video, guys. If you guys did enjoy the video, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really gunning for 10,000 subscribers, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. One more thing before we close out the video. Again, I know I keep saying that, but I am doing an LS swap to a 1987 Ford F-150 regular cab long bed. So if you guys are interested in watching that series, hit that subscribe button because there will be videos coming of that. So like I said, that's the end of today's video, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.